Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Your host, Flywheels, is back in the saddle for another affordable group break, the August 8th edition. Tonight, we've got a hot box of 1998 score rookie and traded. The last thing I had in my stack. Got to go shopping and find some more stuff for us to rip. But we'll go ahead and get the plastic off and we'll get started momentarily. Since old Chipper's on the box, this will be one that I'll keep, figure out something to do with. Hey, good evening, Hal. Thought I might have went to your honey hole today, but I doubt that was it. I was thinking I may try to get up there tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll make it or not. I've got one box coming, should be here early next week for us to do next week, but I am tapped out. Unless I go the retail route, I am tapped out. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Good evening, Matthew. All right. Well, it's a few minutes after 10. Wait 1 second. All right, we got, double check, I think it's 10 cards per pack, 36 packs per box. We are looking for, let's see, the parallel set is a showcase series. Those are 1 in 7. Complete players inserts are 1 in 11. Stargazing inserts are 1 in 35. The artist proof parallels are 1 in 35. And the all-star epics are 1 in 61. So that's roughly about every 2 boxes. So who else used to sit here and kind of rub the pack to try to figure out the card on the top or the card on the back? Surely I wasn't the only one. Hal said it was a very small store in size. I didn't see a lot of older stuff unless they keep it in the back. Did pick up a 72 Carlton Fisk rookie and a 74 Willie McCovey Washington card. Very cool. And my honey hole does not sell singles, so that pretty much ruled that out. All righty, we'll get started. If you're not familiar with these, that is what the they changed up the design from the 98 score, which was just all white borders, though the backs are very much still the same. Lots and lots of stats. Got Mike Lansing for the Rockies, Delano DeShields, John Wetland, Charles Nagy, Dave Holland. Checklist. Mark Grudzielanek, Gary DiSarcina, and we're right off the bat. We got us an insert. We got a complete players of A-Rod. So there are 3 cards. You can make like a puzzle, but there you go. You've got A-Rod's crotch. Look at that. In 3D at that. And then you've got the A-Rod base card. I think the first 50 of the cards are short printed. I think 1 through 50. So A-Rod is 30. So I believe that would be the short print. Someone can check me on that, but I think that's what I remember seeing on Trading Card Database. Tell you what, we'll slide him around over there. Yeah, there's one short print per pack. Big show in KC this weekend. Trying to decide whether to go to that or IKEA. I need a new cabinet for bobbleheads. Hobby problems. I know all about the hobby problems, bro. I'm hoping to get to one more Fireflies game. They're headed for the playoffs, Matt. And hopefully, I was told last time I was there that the 2025 team sets were just a few weeks away. So if my daughter wants to go back before the season's over. So we're going to try to get back to at least one more game. And if they have the hobby or if they have the team sets, I'll pick one up for you. And for anybody else that may care. All right, next up we got Levon Hernandez. We have Richard Helgado, Big Cat, Andres Galarraga, Cruz Jr. We got Frank Catalinato, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And Miguel Tejada, rookie. Alan Benes. Got a Wade Boggs, Javier Valentin, and short print is Roberto Alomar. Tell you what, I'm going to try make a separate stack for the short prints. Hey, good evening, Jared. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Just started. I'm only on the 3rd pack. Terry Steinbach for the Twins kicks us off. Jimmy Key, Jorge Fabregas, Eric Davis, Kevin Stocker, Tony Womack, Ron Coomer, Francisco Cordova, Jermaine Allensworth, and I believe Tino is the short print. So what's everybody else doing this weekend? Any big plans? First Reds, Pokey Reese, Michael Coleman, Jacob Cruz, Tony Gwynn, Pat Henkin. And that's a couple of pitchers in a batting pose that I've seen. A little odd PC of mine. Al Martin, Sandy Alomar Jr., Andrew Jones, and we have our first parallel, and it is of Gary Sheffield. Nice. And a short print of Pedro Martinez. And if the parallels share the same numbers as the base cards, which I do believe, then this Gary Sheffield would be a short print, though I don't know if the Showcase Series parallels consider that to be a short print or not. Johnny with an H. Good evening. Hal says that have come into their proper into their proper place. I'm so far behind on stuff like that. I got to sort the last couple of weeks of breaks. I have way gotten behind. Kevin Young, Brad Osmus, Debbie Cruz, Derek Bell, Wally Joyner, Reggie Jefferson, Hideki Arabu. Another checklist. We got Brooks K. And short print, Larry Walker. I was helping a friend vend at a show last weekend down on the North Carolina coast. And I think I left my house at 4:45, I think, and didn't get home till like midnight. So needless to say, I didn't get much done last weekend. We got Jim Tomei, Todd Hundley, Jarrett Wright, Todd Green, Rondell White, Robin Ventura, Richie Sexton, JT Snow, Bobby Australia. Bobby Higginson is number 50, so I believe that is a short print as well. Yeah, Matt, I'm getting notification that cards are being delivered that haven't even been delivered. USPS is doing some weird stuff with mail for sure. I don't know what the crowns are either, guys. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, crowns are something to do with being top fans. Okay. I kind of wondered that myself, just hadn't looked into it. All right, where to go? We got Scott Spezio, Ramon Martinez. We have Matt Stairs, Marty Cordova, excuse me, Jeff Fossero, Ismael Valdez, Mark McLemore, Glendon Rush, Kevin Apier, 2 Royals back-to-back, and the short print is Randy Johnson. Activity in the comments. Perhaps, because I believe Hal was the first tonight to say anything. We got one of these little Upper Deck style action cards. Sean Estes, Bobby Abreu, Shannon Stewart. Got Brian Rose, John Smoltz, Jose Canseco, Mike Piazza, Ryan Klesko, Fred McGriff, and a short print, Bernie Williams. I believe Victor had the Yankees tonight, so hopefully that's a new Bernie for his collection. Robin Jennings, Brad Radke, Kurt Schilling, Jeff Kent, John Oleru, Alex Gonzalez, BJ Surhoff, Vinny Castilla, Jose Cruz Jr. is the short print because, he used to be the stuff. Short prints are really one per pack. Are they really short prints? Like in, was it 94 Fleer? I love getting an insert in every pack, but it did take a little bit of the sheen off the insert, being that they were one per pack and not one per, a handful. Ryan McGuire for the Expos. We have David Cone, Andy Ashby, Henry Rodriguez, Jeff Conan, Michael Tucker, Brian Giles, Reggie Sanders, Calvin Maduro, and the short print is Manny Ramirez. Frank Thomas, Bubba Trammell, Justin Thompson, Paul O'Neill. We have Mario Valdez, Eli Marrero, Jason Kendall, Carlos Delgado, Eric Young, and a short print, Frank Thomas. So there you go, 2 Frank Thomases. So I don't know if we've talked about this. Did anybody go to the National this year, or has anyone been to one of the shows in the past? I'm curious about them, but the only way I would go is if they were like in Atlanta or somewhere that I could drive to in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not driving. I've made that drive to Chicago for shows. I'm not doing that again. Just kind of curious of what the shows were really like. Edgardo Alfonso, Bobby Jones, Carlos Baerga, Dimitri Young, Brett Tomko, Ricky Henderson, Dan Wilson, Esteban Loaiza, Brant Brown, and a Darren Erstad short print. Let's see. I went to Chicago 3 years ago. Atlanta, Detroit were the choices for 2028. Oh, Detroit won. Yeah, I did see that. Oh, I love that image of Griffey. Brad Fulmer, Nomar Garciaparra, Travis Lee, Ben Grieve, Rafael Palmeiro, Rusty Greer, Matt Morris, Garrett Anderson, Chipper Jones, short print. Johnny says, never been, never really wanted to go, rather shop online. Matt said it was fun. I'd go again, but I don't think I'd want to go every year. Yeah. I did, a lot of I'm a toy collector. Probably first. But I used to travel and go to BotCon, which was a Transformers convention. And I drove to Chicago for that. Flew to Chicago and left the same day. Just went one day. Been all over the country to that show. But it went away for a while. It's back. And it's been somewhat close in the last couple, and since it's come back. But I don't know. The big shows just don't. I mean, I go to a big comic show in Charlotte every year, but even that is like starting to, I don't know. It's just, the big shows just aren't as fun for me anymore. I'd rather go to some of the small shows. Like the show that we were set up at last week. I got a chance to walk around a little bit, and it was a very eclectic pop culture show. So they had a little bit of everything. We had a sports card vendor across from us, and then we had a DVD vendor on the other side. But um, I don't know; those shows are starting to have more appeal to me than these big, massive shows. But if the national ever came close by, I think I'd like to, just try it out. Just to say I've gone. Make that way I can form my own opinion. All right, starting next pack, we got Denny Nagel, Jeffrey Hammonds, Ron Gant, Jay Bell, Johnny Damon, Devon White, Esteban Yan, Steve Carsey. We've got another complete players, but another crotch. It is Jose Cruz Jr. Woo. Short print, Albert Bell, Joey Bell. House that I'd like to go on. Lately, the Nationals been Chicago, Cleveland, Atlantic City, Chicago, hosting multiple times. I don't think you'd catch me in Atlantic City. Sorry. My body doesn't really enjoy going through boxes the way I did when I was younger. I'd hate to go and have my back or backside give out on me an hour into the show. Yeah, that's the way I am at like comic shows. Getting down on the ground boxes or the 50-cent boxes on the ground, I can't. I go through about one or two boxes before my back starts hurting, and then that just makes it miserable. So it's definitely not the same with the older we get. That is for sure. But I wasn't sure at the National, do some of the dealers, do they have dime boxes or quarter boxes or dollar box? Like, can you still find 90s stuff, 80s stuff? I mean, or is everything high end? Jeff Bagwell, Fernando Tatis, Mo Vaughn, Abraham Nunez, Mike Lowell, Tom Glavine, Todd Helton, Rafael Medina, Mark Grace, and the short print is Piazza. The casino is in Bristol. Until that that Braves Reds game the other day, I forgot Bristol. There's a Bristol, Tennessee, and a Bristol, Virginia. Chris Hoyles, Dean Palmer, Delano DeShields, Eduardo Perez, John Wetland, Mike Lansing, Tony Saunders, Charles Nagy. Oh, got another parallel. Oh, nice. David Justice. And a short print of Mr. Andruw Jones. All right, almost to the halfway point. Same city in two states. Gotcha. Thought that was the case. A little bit of everything, probably 50 to 60% vintage. But what is considered vintage now? I mean, we all have vintage is different for, from one person to the next. Like, when did early Pokemon cards come out? When did they first come out? Those are considered vintage, but would you say the same about sports cards? Probably not. Sean Green, Javier Valentin, Cal Ripken Jr., Chipper Jones, Sean Casey. Nice. I don't think that's his actual rookie, but Richard Hilgado, Frank Catalanato, Miguel Tejada, Levon Hernandez, and a Jay Buhner short print. $1980 or earlier vintage. Aaron Seeley, Marquise Grissom, Jim Leyritz, Rob Nin, Dave Hollins, Mark Grudzielanek, Gary DiSarcina, Terry Steinbach. Short print is Jose Guillen. All right, halfway through, guys. Chan-Ho Park, Scott Rowland, Big Poppy, David Ortiz as a twin, Steve Finley, Bobby Bowe, Derek Jeter, Will Clark, Ray Langford, Brady Anderson, and a short print of Jeter. My definition is 1 year older than the person using the word. For younger people, 2000 is vintage. My kids call me vintage. Joey Cora, Trey Beeman, Bernard Gilkey, Oral Hershiser, Mariano Rivera, Lou Collier, Ray Durham, Walt Weiss. Some thinks he should be the next Braves skipper. We got a Roger Clemens parallel and a short print of Juan Gonzalez. I saw the term junk wax vintage used by a teenager. Wanted to slap him. Cool part of the national scene, things you may never see at local shows. True. Yeah, I mean, I just, y'all know I was just vending a couple weeks back at a big video game show, and I'm walking around looking for the most part, pretty common NES games, and nothing too crazy. I think the most I paid was for, I think, Batman Return of the Joker on the NES. It's like $50 or something like that. But it, so while I wasn't looking for the crazy stuff or the super expensive stuff, it was cool seeing a lot of that in person. Stuff that I've only seen online, stuff that I definitely don't see in local stores or smaller shows or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I get that appeal. I get that allure. I don't really collect like 50s and 60s or 70s or heck, really even 80s. I pretty much kind of collect back to when I started in 1990, but I don't enjoy seeing those things. Love to see some, maybe even own at some point some old Hank Aaron stuff. So seeing that in person would be pretty cool. Todd Walker, Edgar Renteria, Omar Vizquel, Russell Branyan, Brian Jordan, Karen Garcia, Javi Lopez, Dimitri Jackson, another complete player. No crotch this time, but we got Larry Walker's sexy legs. I don't mind the front of the cards, but the whole puzzle in the back I don't know about. Dave Justice, short print. House said his friend just bought a Larry Bird Magic Johnson rookie and a PSA 7. Nice. Tim Naring, Billy Wagner, Carlos Garcia, Luis Castillo, Daryl Hamilton, Brian Jordan. Uh-oh, we got something. Daryl Kyle, Mike Hampton, and no short print. Or no, yep, we got a short print. But before we get to that, we got a Frank Thomas All-Star Epics. Pretty cool. We beat the odds. I like those epics. Hideo Nomo is our short print. I don't have any PSA cards. I had a whatever Julio Franco's rookie year was. I think I had gotten it in a trade or something, but I didn't know much about graded cards at the time, and I didn't like how big and clunky the holders, the encapsulation was on them. So I cracked it open, pulled the card out, and stuck it in my monster box or whatever with my Julio Franco collection. I'll take that back. I do have two. I forgot. Recently, I got a Stadium Club Chipper Jones rookie that's graded, and I have a Topps traded David Justice that's graded. But I just recently got those, like in the last year. Charles Johnson, Kevin Ory, Dante Bichette, Moises Alou, Mike Cameron, Enrique Wilson, Juan Encarnacion, Kevin Brown, Travis Fryman, Jen Emmons, short print. Or semi-short print. I sent you a PSA. I think I had more than one. So I very well could have sent one to you. Eric Karros, Benito Santiago, good Good sliding image there. John Valentine, Jeff King, Jeff D'Amico, Ray Ordonez, Mark Bellhorn, Geronimo Boroa. And you got another insert. Stargazing. These have an etching to the foil that's kind of in a fan motion, if that makes sense, behind in the diamond area. So these are pretty sharp inserts in hand. And our short print for this pack was Craig Biggio. This box is turning out to be pretty good. You want it or something? Yeah. Maybe I should bring the whole envelope and the dice game back. Wilton Guerrero, A-Rod, Carl Pavano, Bartolo Colon. Man, look how slender his face is. Brian Anderson, Jason Dixon, Matt Williams, Joe Carter, Todd Dunwoody, and a Jim Thome short print. Jermaine Dye, Quentin McCracken, Joe Girardi, Curtis Goodwin, Dave Nielsen, Andy Benez, Raul Casanova, Lance Johnson, Francisco Cordova, and a Nomar Garcia Parra is the short print. Now we're working on some old sets. Anton Williamson, Mark Kotze, Derek Lee, Jeff Suppan, Maglio Ordonez, Ellis Burks, Jason Giambi, Paul Konerko. Have a Showcase Series parallel of Frank Thomas giving you the big thumbs up. And short print of Scott Rowland. Andres, Jose Cruz, Effie Perez, Wade Boggs, Pokey Reese, Michael Coleman, Jacob Cruz, another Fred McGriff, Chan-Ho Park, and Greg Maddux is the short print, number 4. Jimmy Key, Jorge Fabregas, Eric Davis, Kevin Stocker, Tony Womack, Ron Coomer, Jermaine Allensworth, Brad Osmus, Kevin Young, a couple Pirates there, and a Roger Clemens short print. Another David Ortiz, Sandy Alomar Jr., Andrew Jones, Tony Gwynn, Pat Henkin, Al Martin, Jim Thome, Todd Hundley, Jarrett Wright, and an Edgar Martinez short print. Debbie Cruz, Derek Bell, Wally Joyner, Richard Jefferson, Checklist, Hideki Arabu, Brooks K, Scott Bezio. Artist proof of Moises Alou. And a King Griffey short print. Houston Astros go to Chad. He grabbed them kind of last minute. But I'd love to have pulled a Todd Helton for you there, buddy. Todd Green, Rondell White, Richie Sexton, John Smoltz, Brian Rose, Canseco, Bobby Estrella, whatever, JT. Have another parallel, Barry Bonds. What's he pointing to? Cal Ripken, short print. That's 4 to go. Ramon Martinez, Matt Stairs, Marty Cordova, Jeff Fossero, Glendon Rush, Ismael Valdez, Mark McLemore, Kevin Apier, Checklist, and an Andy Pettit short print. Bobby Bowe, Robin Ventura, Mike Piazza, Scott Rowland, Sean Estes, Bobby Abreu, Shannon Stewart, Ryan Klesko. Hey, we got another complete players, and this time we did get Larry Walker's crotch. Look at that in 3D. So we got 2 of the 3 Larry Walkers, and our short print was Vlad Guerrero. Sure, Andrew will be happy with that. Johnny, I would imagine you already have these Larry Walkers. You didn't say that these were on your list, but you have B and C. And then when you turn them over, like I said, you can put them together, and look at that. Hey, this was a really long week for me at work. This is very therapeutic. Quote me all you want. PJ Surhoff, Alex Gonzalez, John Oleru, Jeff Kent, Robin Jennings, Brad Redkey, Kurt Schilling, Vinny Castilla, Joey Cora, and hey, we got Pudge. I guess that's some kind of like a medicine ball he's working out with. All right, final pack. Steve Finley, Brady Anderson, Will the Thrill, Langford, Todd Walker, Rentory, Vizcal, Nefi Perez, Russell Branyan, and our final short print is Tim Salmon. The OG Fish is our final short print. All right, man, we got a big old honking stack of base cards. Look at that. That's all base cards. But I get to sort. Aren't you jelly? And these are all our short prints. And let's hit the parallels and then the inserts. So the Showcase series have the little logo there in the back. And then you've got silver foil. So we got Mr. Barry Bonds. We have a Frank Thomas, Roger Clemens, Dave Justice, and Gary Sheffield. So all pretty good names there. Got one artist proof. And we got Moises Alou. The complete players. Like I said, we got the two Larry Walkers, Crotch and Sexy Legs. We got Jose Cruz Jr.'s Crotch. And we have Alex Rodriguez Crotch. So complete crotches. One Stargazing. Pretty cool. Pretty nice looking insert. There's 20 of those in that set. And then we did beat the odds with the Epix All-Star Moment Frank Thomas. I think the orange were the easiest to pull. And then you had, I don't remember. I know there was an emerald, a green, but yeah. So these differed a little bit from the other Epix cards, but still pretty cool. And that is it, guys. I don't know. I got so much to do and I've got so much to sort. I may not do a recap, or if I do, it'll be a really short recap. But anyways, hope you got something. Hope your team got something fascinating, something that you will enjoy. But like I said, I got a box coming. Should be here on Monday if the tracking is correct. So should have our sign up either Monday or Tuesday of next week. It probably depends on what the mail does with the package that's inbound. But yeah, I've got to figure out what to do after that. So if you got any ideas, let me know. If there's something you see sitting on a web page somewhere, let me know. If you want to do go to the retail route or something, and I mean I'm actually seeing quite a bit of things sitting on the shelves at various stores. But yeah, I'm gonna try to hit up my honey hole in the next week or two. I gotta check the schedule, see what's going on the weekends. But yeah, just let me know. Uh, Go ahead and ship yours. All right. Yeah. Give me the weekend. I want to try really hard to get caught up on all my sorting. Um, but yeah, this is the last weekend for my wife and kids too, Matt. They start school on Monday, or actually Tuesday. But wife started back this week. So yeah, my schedule is going to get a little crazier too. Everybody's schedule gets a little crazier when school starts back up. But yeah, I'll get everything shipped and then I'll let you know. I'll get you your shipping total there. Shouldn't be a problem. But for my own sanity, I need to get these stacks off my desk downstairs and get that work area cleaned up because I got some other projects I'm working on as well. But but yeah, next week I'll go and tell you is going to be football. So if that's an automatic out for you, that's completely understandable. But I've had some requests for football. Um, we are getting into the fall season, and I know I'm turning my attention away from baseball because my team is horribly hard to watch right now. Um, so I'm getting excited about the NBA, if that to think I'd ever utter those words. But I don't know if you'll see any basketball in our breaks, but you'll see some football sprinkled in from here, here and there. But anyhow, y'all have a great weekend, whatever you may do. And if you're interested in football, check back, like I said, either Monday or Tuesday. I'll have that sign up ready to go, and then hopefully I can find some other fun stuff for us to break in the coming weeks. But appreciate your support. Thanks for helping fill this breakout. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you back here next week.